What's going on? This is the Broke Genius. Today I'm going to be talking about on Finance Fridays the debt snowballs. Just give me a moment to set everything up. Um, Called myself trying to go to the library and try to set things up there, but turns out the library actually was closed. So had to come back home. So I'm gonna set this up, this snowball, and I'm not gonna talk too much about the debt snowball, but it's in relation basically to how much debt you actually have. Um, so if you don't have any debt, you don't really have to worry about a debt snowball. Okay, so let me clear some things up here. Um, let's see here. Maybe I could find just like a picture or something like that to show what a debt snowball is. But I mean, basically, debt snowball, just to give a backdrop, is basically you list all of your debts that you have, such as all of your debt accounts, and you basically just list them according to what either if you wanted to set it up with the highest debt or the highest interest rate payment, you could set it up that way. Usually people say you should set it up according to the highest interest rate. Like if your debt has an interest, like for example, if you have student loan debt, then you would try to tackle that first because it primarily is it's accruing interest every month. So you want to pay that off but let's say if you don't have any interest accounts that you owe money on, you would just basically you would set up your debt snowball from the highest amount, the lowest account to the highest account. But here's another thing. So that's a debt snowball, right? So I'm still setting this up. You also have a debt avalanche. And what a debt avalanche is basically you pay off the most expensive debt that you have, and then you go down to the smallest debt. So it's like imagine you're on this high mountain. It's like, you're in the Swiss Alps and you're on the highest mountain peak, and your debt is the highest mountain peak. So you start off paying that one. Then you go from the most expensive debt you have down to the lowest debt. So it basically it's similar to an avalanche. So that's also another method that people use to pay off their debts. So I'm gonna show a nice little URL that explains what a debt snowball is. Um, you know, not gonna make this one long today. I actually kind of, I don't know, not really that much of a morning person, and I work during the week, so I find myself always being short-sighted on the sleep department. Okay, so like I said before, the debt snowball, you list all your accounts. Ideally you want to do it on an Excel spreadsheet. And just before I go into all of this, basically the reason why I'm talking about this is because, you know, I'm not as an aggressive person when it comes to debt as other people. This is the person that popped up that I guess owns this blog. I mean, if I've never, I just googled this or whatever. But the reason I'm talking about this, god damn, man. I mean, this dude just got all kind of pop-ups. But yeah, the reason why I'm talking about this is because, like I said, I don't agree with how most people think as regards of their financial prowess or whatever. Excuse me. So what I don't think is, I don't think of myself as my income being my gauge of how, good I'm doing in my financial, life. I gauge my overall personal net worth as my gauge of my financial, prowess. So I don't look at myself as being, you know, because my net worth is negative because I have a lot of debt. I don't look at myself as actually being doing good in life or everything like that, because I don't base my um overall well-being, my financial well-being off of my income. And I don't think anybody should do that. I definitely would not recommend anybody that I know, anybody that I care of, to think that just because you have a job paying whatever, that that's okay, um to gauge that versus you having $100,000 worth of debt or $50,000 worth of debt or whatever. It could even be $10,000 worth of debt. You want to pay that off, because the thing about a job is, the reason, and another reason why I don't gauge my job is my overall financial well-being. I mean, yeah, it's an important part of it, don't get me wrong. You need money to pay off old debts or pay bills and stuff like that. But the reason why I don't do it is because primarily you can lose your job at any time. Things can go from, good to bad anytime. So I don't gauge my overall financial, you know, wellness or um, overall well being off of my income just solely. So, because I do have debt, I'm broke as hell. And that's why I name myself the broke genius. But I mean, basically, that could be that could be dealt with in a lot of different ways. And one of the ways that I deal with it is the debt snowball. Now, what I did was um I actually did the death snowball personally over this pandemic, from the from the time, I would say, of March. Actually, even before March, I will be honest. Before March, probably I would say around January. Between January to now, I started paying off like these small debts, okay, that I had, and I'm down to just my student loans at this point. So I'm at the final debt of my debt snowball. But this is actually a picture. Gonna try to, maybe I'll just save it and then try to blow it up. Let me just save this, and then maybe I could just zero in on this picture here. So let's go in on this a little bit. All right, so basically this is like a list of someone, like just an example of someone's debts that they have. This is pretty interesting because they got two car loans. This is actually, if you put in the house payment, like, because a lot of people have mortgages, this is the average person's basically debt list right here, because they have, the wife has a car loan, the husband has a car loan, and then they have credit card debt, and then they have student loans, and then they also have a house mortgage. But I wouldn't definitely I wouldn't put the mortgage in the debt the debt snowball. I mean, I would recommend that you do that because you want to ultimately pay off everything, and then you want to get to where you are at zero. Okay, you want to get to where you don't have any debts whatsoever. If you, let's say you paid off all your debts and you just have a house mortgage, you ultimately should be paying double, at the very least double what your mortgage is, because if you pay double, then what that does is it does two things. When you're paying double for your mortgage, you're paying more interest. I mean, not more interest, but more principal than interest. And then two, you're paying more into the house for it, getting more equity out of it. And there's a third thing, and the third thing is ultimately, instead of paying that 30-year mortgage, you're paying it for 15. So you don't necessarily have to be old and gray by the time you pay off your mortgage. But the sweet spot is being able to pay three times your mortgage, and then ultimately getting it to where you're paying it off in 10 years. Now, I don't recommend doing that because here's the thing. If you have an out, I would suggest taking it, because let's say you have a house, and you like it, but you can always go get something else. What I recommend for somebody, let's say that they're trying to get out of debt and they're down to their mortgage, right? Definitely for some years, yeah, double the payments if you can, and then ultimately sell that house, man. Get up under that house, sell it, or if you can, rent it out to someone else. If you can't do that, basically sell it. Get up out of that debt. I mean, if you can, because ultimately what you want to do is you want to be cash rich enough to where you get in a situation where you can buy a house cash. Okay. You can also basically buy in different areas of the country where, like, for example, it's places where that I showed on my channel where you can buy about two houses for the equivalent of $100,000. Okay, you can have two houses, you can rent them out. You find somebody local that's a real estate investor, or somebody that may be an up and coming investor, and you just pay him a fee or her a fee to just basically look out for you and your interest in your properties at where they're in their local area, ultimately where the properties are, and you could make money off of renting. Okay, you could make money even off of Airbnb. But let's say you're in areas where you ultimately can't make a move, on a lateral move, not necessarily a lateral move, but I would say horizontal move, where you pay off your house or sell your house and get up under it, and then ultimately like buy a house cash. Let's say you're in California, where that's damn near impossible. You just want to get to a situation where you paying, at the very least, like I said, double the payments of your house, because at the very least, when you are at a point where you like, what, I'm gonna sell this house, you got more equity out of it, where when you sell it, you got enough money pretty much to pretty much get another house damn near cash, or get a house where you don't even have to get a 30-year mortgage. You can get a 15-year mortgage, and then your payments is enough where you ultimately can even double up on your payments. Instead of that 15-year payment, you can shorten it up to 7. and you can pretty much do what people do every day, which is go get that brand new Hellcat or get that BMW, that Mercedes, and then they get this 7 year or 6 year car payment, and their car payment is like $1,000 a month or $700 a month. You're paying off this house, it's, like a car basically, because that's really what you want to do in any regard. But going back to this actual that snowball here, ultimately what you want to do is you want to take all of these balances, and then you want to let me copy this picture actually and go into a word document where basically I can break this down for you. So we're going to insert that picture right here, make that bigger so everybody can see wider. Okay, so the biggest, you could do the avalanche or you could do the smallest debt. Okay, so the smallest debt is the doctor bill. Okay, the doctor bill, $500 a month. So you start there, but before you even get to all of that, you gotta have a monthly commit amount. So you gotta have an amount where you can commit to pay. But you can't even, because of this example here, you can't even do that. You can't even do a death snowball here, because you actually have to do a little different death snowball, because you got interest here. So you ideally want to go with according to the interest. So the credit card is the most highest interest rate, and that's at $9,000. Okay, so ultimately you want to have a committed amount to what you want to pay. So, for example, your debt snowball payment. And then keep in mind, while you're making this extra payment of $500, you got to pay all of this at the same time. So how it will work is your credit card minimum payment. Let's say your credit card minimum payment is $300 a month. So you'll get an extra 500 to that every month. Okay, which would be 800. Okay, so ultimately you will have to pay all of these debts that have an interest payment on them. Okay, all payments would be paid with the minimum payment. Okay, every month. And let's do some math here. So ultimately, a person like this, I wouldn't even recommend $500. I would just say 1,000, because you basically will be all day trying to pay this off. So ultimately, I would say $1,000. So you take that to 1,300, because it'll take too long to pay off, because he's got a lot of debts that have interest rates. See, one thing about my debts is I just got one debt, and it's got a student loan. I don't have all of these interest loans and all of this. I don't have any car loan. I don't have any. I don't even have. I have a credit card, but it's a secured card, and I don't even use it, because what I'm finding out is when I use it, it's working against my credit score. So this is like the first month I don't even use it. I got more than enough money that I don't have to touch it. So I don't even use it. So basically if he pays this minimum payment here, he will ultimately be done paying his credit card off if he doesn't use it. Because another thing you don't want to touch your credit card. While you trying to do this debt snowball, you have to not even use the credit card at all. So ultimately, he'll be done paying off the card within about 6 months. So final payment would be in about 6 months. Okay. So after he pays, or after you pay the 6 months of this, $1,000, now you have to roll down to the Home Depot card. Okay, the Home Depot card, you would have to pay whatever the minimum payment is for that, plus the 1,000. So he would see. So basically, ultimately, he'll be done this less than a month. This will be paid off. I mean, it's it'll be done basically with less than a month. And then ultimately he don't even have to, because he's already been paying it, because he's been all you're paying the minimum payments on all of these. So ultimately he'll have money left over, okay, for the next month's payment. He'll have money left over because he would have at least $300 or $400 or $500 to roll over to the next month's, because this is to get out of debt. This is not to play around. So whatever you have left over, you roll that to the next debt. Now here's the thing. I've never had to do this as far as use these strategies to basically to deal with interest rate, um interest rate debts. I've never had to do it because I never really had this many, like this person, this individual here. I've never had all of these types of credit accounts where it's interest everywhere. So, but this is like an advanced form of that snowball. But moving along, so after just less than a month, now he's okay. The next bill is the auto loan. Okay, so the auto loan uh number one. Okay, so that's $8,000, and it's got a 7% interest rate. So, and you know what? They already have the minimum payments here. Okay, I didn't even see that. So yeah. So auto loan minimum payment is $200 a month. Okay. And so plus you want to add that 1,000 to it. Okay. So you'll be paying $1,200 a month towards this debt. So you'll be done paying it ideally within like 7 months. 7 months basically. Pay off. Okay. So then basically you move along. So the next debt is two, auto loan two, and this one is a minimum payment of 300. Okay, and plus the 1,000. So That's 1,300, and then basically you're looking at roughly about a year, about 1 year. Let's say 1 year. Let's say about 13 months. 13 months pay off. So after you do all that, ultimately, and then you want to go ahead and give Doctor Smith his little $500, man. Get him off you. Doctor Smith, he's the family doctor. He sees all the children, the missus. Hopefully he's just seeing her, not seeing her. If you get my drift. But go ahead and mail. You know what I'm saying, when you get your taxes. Then here's another thing: if you get your if you got debt and you get a tax refund and you don't put that money into your debt snowball, you are a loser. You going out buying TVs, getting brand new cars after you done already got two car loans. You are a freaking loser. I don't care, men or women, because ultimately that refund that you get, some people get like a family of two, they get like 10,000 over $10,000. With $10,000, you put this in your debt snowball. After a few years, you're done paying your debts off. You know what I'm saying? That refund should be used for debts only. Okay, so I mean, I I don't get it, but I know people like, it's my money, I do whatever I want to with it and all that. No, it ain't. It's you got debt. See, that's the thing that I'm talking about. Like, people don't think that they actually are broke, and I think, and for people that are not my non-broke people are people that have a positive net worth, meaning they have zero debts, and they have more assets than they have any debts, or they have more assets than they have debts. I need you to start telling your friends and other people that they broke, because these people don't think that they actually broke, and most people are broke. It can it kills me how people don't understand that it doesn't kill me, because I understand, like I said in my last video, the society, the elites, like, well, let's go to some deep, like, kind of, like matrix type stuff or whatever. So most people are like blue pill or whatever, right? Like, let's say 85%, most people, 85% are deaf, dumb, and blind, and sleep, right? So the 10%, right, the people that want these people to stay that way, and then you got people like me, the 5% that's trying to train people that are deaf, dumb, blind, and asleep to the ways of what people are doing to them, which is the 10, or whoever, and then also just educate people in general. It's people, and I understand, it's people that want you to stay an idiot, and they want you to train your children to be idiots. So when their children grows up, they managing your dumbass children, because your children are being trained by you to think more income versus net worth, when you shouldn't even be thinking of your income. Your income is just a caveat to your net worth. It shouldn't, your income, I repeat, your income is not your net worth. So they want the elites want you, the elites that don't care, they want you to be an idiot, to think, oh, I make such and such and such and such, but I got this car note, and my bae, he got a car note, and then we got a mortgage, we got a nice house though, girl. Like, they want you to think like this, because They want you to stay like this, and they want your children to be trained this idiotic knowledge so they can, like I say, be dead saddled with debt after they come out of college with credit card debt, student loan debt, and then they got to go get a job, and then they being managed by somebody younger than them. That parents come from a assets over liabilities mindset, and then their sons is already managers of the company that they own. That your son or daughter got to get a job at the mailroom or as a clerk, and then his manager is the children of the elite that have the assets over liabilities concept. You know what I'm saying? And that's why they want you to think like this. And it helps you because it helps your psyche, because in your mind you think, oh, I make this, and I got a nice house, and we got a mortgage, though we got a couple car notes, and got quite a bit of debt, and we get by. To think that's okay because that also suits your comfortable, your comfortability to think that it's okay when it's not okay, because you're that frog that's in the warm water that's waiting to get boiled. So they want you to think this way, but the broke genius is here to slap you in the face and then wake your ass up. You know what I'm saying? So, I basically, also, this is a important topic because when you get rid of all of this debt, like, I'm just talking to the black community here. When you get rid of this debt, wealth is right there within your grasp. So that $3,000, let's say this is a movement, right? Let's say this just goes into a movement, a debt snowball movement, right? So no debt, you know, wealth first, zero debt. Then next thing you know, black people got more wealth collectively, and we ain't as broke. In our communities, when you drive through them, you can't tell. Oh, well, this is where the black people live, because I see dirty, dirt on the ground with filth, with like chips and chip wrapping paper, and garbage everywhere, and you know. I see a bunch of broke people that truly are broke in the every avenue and sense of the word, walking down the street with wine bottles, or liquor bottles and bags. You know what I'm saying? Like, you can just kind of eliminate a lot of that with this wealth concept versus debt concept, debt income based concept, because that is what it is. Ultimately, it's an income debt based mindset. You need to go on and take your gun, go outside and say, I'm killing this debt income based mindset, and just shoot one, and make a salute in the air, and just bust one, and be like, just driving home that you killing this debt income based mindset, because that's what it is. It is a mindset that the elite, I repeat, wants you to think. They want you to think that they want you to think income, so you can get more debt, more liabilities, so you can continuously stay broke, so your children can stay broke, and you absolutely think that you're not broke. Okay, so that's my little rant or whatever, you know. Um, but like I said, going back to this debt snowball, after you pay the auto loan, the second auto loan, and then yeah, you send Doctor Smith his little $500. You be kind to the doctor. He's probably got a lot of student loans that he needs to pay too. Because he's a doctor and he went to med school for a long time. So, um, ultimately left, you'll be like the broke genius with student loan, but you're doing a lot better because your loan is only $20,000. Okay. Now your payment that you had to pay, your minimum payment was your minimum payment is $75. Okay. So you only have to pay $75 a, a month for your minimum payment, but you're gonna plus that 1K. All right. So ultimately, you want to think here: do I just want to just? I got one freaking debt left. Do I really just want to just pay $1,000 toward this debt? I ain't got all time in the world to pay this off. So you gonna toughen up, and you gonna at this point you gonna god doggone pay $2,000 a month. Plus, actually forget the 75 minimum payment. You just gonna pay 2K towards this debt every month. You be done paying it off in 10 months, and then you're debt free. Okay, all your money that you get every month, it goes into a high interest checking account. And then the broke genius is gonna talk about some methods next week that will have you be your own bank, and ways you can be your own bank. Okay, and then you can make some money, you know what I'm saying, basically. As a teaser, you gonna be, giving out money to people that have the credit enough to get loans and stuff, and you're gonna make some interest off of people that are looking for personal loans and whatnot. Because I'm gonna show you some strategies where you can actually be your own bank and make some money if you got, capital to do so. So um this is it for Finance Fridays. This is, I think, very beneficial to those that are in debt. Okay. So I'll just say, definitely forget that debt income mindset. Kill that noise. Let it go, let it burn. Go go throw that out with the next morning's trash, because that's what it is. I mean, your job is only as good as you can work that job. Once you don't work that job no more, that's it. But your debts that you have are attached to your name forever. They ain't going nowhere. Okay, so thinking about your income as value enough for you to get more stuff and more debt is just not good. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, uh, that's not worth anything. So you want to definitely get that mindset off of you, and that's why I call myself the broke genius. Income wise, I'll be just like you ninjas. I'm doing good. I'm doing well, but nah, I'm not. I don't. My mindset. I have an elitist mindset. My mindset is net worth. That's how businesses are based and judged, and that's how individuals are based and judged. You don't go to Forbes when you're in debt. you know they base your being on a Forbes list by how much income. I mean, not how much income you have, but how much assets you have, and minus liabilities. Okay, so this is all I have for today for you. um you know I hope that you find this information beneficial. If you are getting a benefit from this, please let me know. Please let me know what I'm doing. My education, my research, and what I know is helping you. I mean, I know some of you have told me as such, and I appreciate that. But please, comment. Let me know if I'm, giving you some type of value or benefit. And then also, I have a Patreon that I have information that is not on YouTube. I have very explicit, to the point information that's not on YouTube. And then also, yeah, definitely, if you got it, I mean, hey, it's cool. Even whatever the case may be, definitely hit that Cash App up, show some love. Show, when I hear content or whatever that is beneficial to me, you know what I'm saying, I definitely support that content creator by shooting out a cash app. I don't have monetization because YouTube, Google is be on some hating stuff, and I don't have. I did have that at one time, but they took it up under me. So Cash App is the only way I can get compensated. What's going on, underrated darkness, my friend? Um, Peace to the brother. But yeah, if you have found this a benefit, like I say, man, definitely, man, this show does not run itself. I have to pay bills to keep this going, keep this every day because basically, in order to stream, that costs a little bread. So if you got it, it's cool. No matter what, I'm gonna keep the steam wheels rolling. You don't have to worry about that. I make money in other ways offset this. So um that's whatever you have it, cool. If you don't, it's all good. um hey, what's going on, underrated? Do you want me to I'm gonna drop the link if you want to come up, man, and if you got some questions or whatever, you know um what I'm saying, you want to put your piece in about debt and whatnot, or anything, man, it's all good. If not, I'm gonna close it up and call it one, and I'll see you guys on the market Monday. You know what I'm saying? So if you let me know what's up, I'll definitely love to hear from you. So yeah, um we gonna call it one, man. This is Broke Genius. This is the debt snowball. Definitely kill that income based debt concept, man. Kill it. Kill that noise, man. Kill it. Kill it.